Hi y'all, my name is Leo, and I'm here to talk to you about Dr. Squatch. Now this product is typically something I would use on a daily basis as its intended purpose is meant for showering. But that is at least for this product in particular because they do sell other items such as deodorant and toothpaste. But this one in particular is one of my go-tos. And I will be telling you about the 3 words I would use to describe this product. Now, the first word I chose for this product was, in fact, rustic. Now, I chose rustic because of that wood design that the packaging has, not essentially covering it, but more so set as the base for this design. While I do appreciate the wood design, I feel the problem is that the consumer would be too busy reading all of the other details of the box and sort of brush over the wood designs that you see in the background. And typically, I would say the reason that they went with this design is to sort of draw in the men of our society, as the design with the wood texture does say, I'm a man, I do woodwork, check out this cool wood chair I made in my wood shop, aka my garage. Another reason why I believe they went with the wood texture is because the company first asked themselves before coming up with this product, well, the packaging at least, is to ask themselves, what is it that men typically do? What are their interests? What is something that a man will look at and say, now this is some fine mahogany right here? Well, typically, from personal experience, they would brag about the stuff that they made in their wood shops and probably welding projects they've worked on. And while metal does tend to be rustic, I'm sorry, I don't think an aluminum design would work well with the packaging of this product. A giant factory spewing out smoke and oil pollution in a forest doesn't necessarily say, hey, this is all natural. So a wood design would work a lot better for that rustic sort of look. The next word I would use to describe this product, although I typically don't like this word, is masculine. And while masculine is not typically my favorite word, unfortunately for me, that is who this technically is trying to appeal to. The men in our society, as I stated earlier, which sort of ties into the woodshop subject I mentioned earlier. But one of the ways which I will admire this company for to try to get rid of those sort of masculine ideals is the way they commercialize their product. And that is because the product is quite literally just soap. But it's not just any kind of soap, it's a soap with natural materials. Those materials are used to nourish and replenish your skin to make it smooth and healthy looking. Dare I say, soft. And while most men would typically think like, oh, masculine and soft don't really mix together, believe me when I say this, guys, rough skin does make you look cool, I guess, but blisters feel and say otherwise. I still remember when Dr. Squatch was introduced back in 2017, that first commercial that dropped, and man, did I love that commercial. The way they marketed it was fantastic. I'm trying to keep this PG. The way they presented it was by hiring a guy named James Schrader, the spokesperson who some would say is very masculine. And I will say he was a very perfect choice for both his blunt and likable personality, because I don't know, that's just something that guys tend to like. Let me tell you, a guy sitting down and telling me, hey, you smell terrible, really opens your eyes. And James does do a good job at talking to people bluntly, since he does what men do best, which is insulting their capabilities and incapabilities.
Men who use their hands, men who build things, men who open the pickle jar on the first try.
Which I will neither confirm nor deny my own. Still can't do it. The last word I would use to describe my product is simple. It's not simple in a bad way. Their simple can be good, such as the design of the main logo featuring a Sasquatch in a robe that's very fancy, and also a pipe that he's smoking from, with bubbles to indicate suds. And while I do say this is a very simple design, This whole logo just only makes me think, wow, now this is what luxury feels like. As for the font usage of the box with its cursive-ish type of word, that sort of helps you get more of the idea of, yeah, I deserve luxury. As for the logo though, you may be wondering, why Sasquatch? And don't really worry about that, because I also asked myself that same question, and I do have an answer that might be a pretty good one. The company stated that the first brand name of the soap was in fact Sasquatch soap, but as they developed, that look evolved, like most companies do. They really wanted to create something that could represent more than soap, and also become a character that could represent the brand, ultimately leading to Dr. Squatch, which just sort of stuck with them. But this sort of branding marketing scheme isn't really nothing new, which is also another reason why I went with Simple, because most other companies tend to do this sort of thing when it comes to branding their own products. When you think of something like Disney, the first character you think of is their mascot, Mickey Mouse. Same thing goes with other cereal companies like Tony the Tiger for Frosted Flakes, Lucky the Leprechaun from Lucky Charms, and the list definitely goes on from there. As for the rest of the box though, I'd say, yeah, just Simple. I like it. Even though it may seem that I was kind of ragging on it majority of the time, I still tend to use this product because, hey, it helps me feel clean. The back just includes a brief description of all the stuff that they do. They like to describe, rather than most soap companies, about the ingredients on the back, not including the harsh chemicals that most soap companies would use, like, I can't even think of one because I don't really take science classes. Include ingredients like saponified oils of olive sustainable palm coconut. And they also include shea butter, natural fragrance, Jimmy Red cornmeal, brewer's yeast. The main idea is to follow that sort of simple marketing, which is why they don't really want their customers to look at the product and think, maybe that chemical is bad for my skin. And maybe, just maybe, this won't burn my skin. But before I go, I would just like to say that if I could change one or two things, it would probably be with the logo, that being the doctor part of the Dr. Squatch logo. As the doctor does seem a bit small, it does kind of make sense to me, but it also doesn't really, because when I think Dr. Squatch, I'm of course thinking of the soap company, but if it were any other consumer, you would probably just read Squatch. And thinking of the keyword Squatch, the first thing that comes to mind is the group of people that are looking for the giant hairy man that's potentially running through the forest. Or you can think of the hygiene company that tries to make your skin look a little bit better, which in a sense is a bit genius, if anything, but I still think that it's probably going to draw a lot more people to watch the show Finding Bigfoot and giving it more seasons, because it's already at 10. Yep. I just had to re-record everything I just previously recorded. That feels wonderful. So, this is in fact a different kind of video than you would normally expect, and it is probably something that you should be expecting from here on out, granted if I have more things to do with this template. 2 weeks ago or so, I was given an assignment for one of my school projects, specifically my art class, about making a video to review a product of some sort. And the product that I chose was Dr. Squatch. The whole video was designed around me using 3 words to describe that product and sort of give a review on like how the font looks and stuff like that. I did that and then some. So my teacher is very cool. She was very cool with me doing this. She just sent me very good feedback, which is the whole reason why I'm sending this video to YouTube as well. So I was very nervous about like making this video because, for one, the parameters for the project were sent like between, you need to make like a 4 to 5 minute video. I then, out of like because I have a certain level of skill for video production that I wanted to put to the test. And also, like, this is probably not a good idea to put to the test in this situation because, for one, this is my education. And for two, if I do fuck up, then that's gonna look bad. Luckily, my teacher was cool with it, which, hindsight, I shouldn't have been too nervous about because I should have been confident in my level of skill of being able to make such a unique sort of video, I guess. Well, it's not necessarily unique in its own way, but you get the point. After a couple weeks, I was waiting for her to review the video and then give me the feedback that what I was expecting to get was like a little bit of negative feedback. Because like back when I was in high school, I was given a project and I included like stuff like all these sorts of bits and stuff that I wanted to put into my project. But when I like reviewed it with my teacher before actually going through with the project, they were just like, I would like you to not include all of this bullshit. Didn't really sugarcoat it or anything, just sort of like laid it there to me flat, and that hurt. Now I turned this project in, I'm nervous out of my mind thinking like, oh my god, what is my art teacher gonna think? Because for one, I tried to stay as professional as I could with this video, but I also wanted it to be somewhat humorous for people to enjoy. And luckily, I got good feedback from my classmates, so that was fun. But the whole reason that I made this video was to see if my teacher would also enjoy this video. 2 weeks later, as a couple hours ago from making this recording, I get the feedback from my teacher. She said that she enjoyed the video so much. She said, I did not want the review to end. And also, she sort of asked me like, are you a YouTuber? To which I said, maybe. I basically told her that like, I was so nervous about you reviewing the, god damn it, I messed up my hair now, it looks like garbage. But yeah, she was fairly happy with my video, and that just made me like light up with joy. That just sort of made me want to release this video for you guys, because you guys might enjoy it. And if you guys want me to review any other products in this sort of way, I'll probably change it up a little bit, but still maintaining the 3 words and then other things that go along with it. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, as well as let me know if you would like to see more of this in the future.